really good 3D platform was hard to come by nowadays. The last 3D platform that I loved was Sonic Generations in 2011. Don't get me wrong, Mario 3D World was good, but it felt too much like it belonged on 3DS. That, and I didn't really care for 3D Land either. And so here comes Yooka Laylee, a Banjo Kazooie-esque game even made by the same staff that made the original Banjo Kazooie. The N64 era staff of whoever left Microsoft and whoever formed their new company, Playtonic. 73,000 Kickstarter backers later, and Yooka Laylee crowdfunded £2 million. Pounds? That's pounds, isn't it? I can't tell. I'm American. Okay, yep, pounds. So $2.7 million. Thanks, Google. Anyway, people have been wanting new Banjo Kazooie for years. Banjo Tooie came out in 2000, for God's sakes. With this recent drought of 3D platformers, there's never been a better time for Yooka Laylee to release. It's even available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, so everyone can partake in the platforming fun. There's a Wii U version too. Wait, hold on. The Wii U version was cancelled in favor of a Switch version? Okay, that makes sense. I'm done with Zelda and Shovel Knight, so time to turn on my Switch again for— oh, what now? Switch version doesn't have a release date? Great. Well, I hear the PC version is the best version, but my computer can barely handle recording Portal on PC, let alone Yooka Laylee. I don't have an Xbox One and I'm impatient, so PS4 it is. I'm really excited. Let's look at everyone else enjoying it, and of course everyone hates it. This is the internet. You can't go out enjoying things, now can you? Okay, well, that's fine. People are entitled to their own opinions. I'll remain cautiously optimistic and keep an open mind. Oh, a 3GB day 1 patch. Absolutely wonderful. When I opened the box for the first time, the disc fell out of the case because it wasn't even in the disc holder. The game disc is fine, but hopefully that's not a bad omen. Well, at least JonTron's in this game. Oh, god damn it. Our story begins with the antagonizing rich guy of the day, capital B, drooling over the giant gold statue of himself that he just bought with his limitless piles of cash. Poor right-hand man Dr. Quack just wanted his own smaller statue next to B's. What, henchman? Duckheads are not allowed to have nice things. So Dr. Quack made a machine called the Novelizer 64 TM OC Do Not Steal that lets the company steal all of the books in the world. Wow. I thought Bones and Noble was completely screwed before. Alt Monopoly's fun. With all the books in the world just ever so casually and totally not illegally being stolen, let's just have the camera pan over to our heroes who are literally right down the street. Yooka and Laylee just hanging out talking about how life can't possibly get any better. And what's that, Yooka? You bet it's what? I can't hear your voice. Final Fantasy 15 is done updating. It turns out the wrecked pirate ship that they just recently moved into had a book with gold pages. Clearly it's worth a ton of money. Let's sell it! Great idea! Oh no, now it's flying away. That means it's worth even more now! One tutorial parody later, and they arrive at Highbury Towers, where they openly admit to the public about stealing every book in the world. And so, it's up to Yooka and Laylee to get back all the gold pages of their book and defeat our new corporate overlords known as Capital B and Dr. Quack. I'm gonna be completely honest. By the end of the game, I forgot what the story was entirely. I couldn't remember why I was collecting these pages, and I didn't mind that. This game doesn't take itself seriously, never even attempted to have a compelling story. Sure, the story is forgettable, but that's not why you play this kind of game. You play because of the gameplay, and Yooka Laylee is just what was advertised. A Banjo Kazooie-esque 3D collectathon platformer. The controls are really smooth and work the way they're intended to. Usually. I never had any real issues controlling anything. Even the camera, which people were having issues with, never felt bad to control. It does have a tendency to freak out, but actually controlling the camera is fine. The combat is simplistic, but it never tries to be complex. It's just pressing a button to attack and not much else. Jump physics feel really smooth, and I was never frustrated by the platforming. But the real meat of the game is the collecting, and my god, there was a lot to collect. Your main story progressing collectible are pages. There's a whole 25 of them in each world, and they're used to open up each world and expand them. More on that later. Some are just standing in plain sight, but most are attained by doing certain objectives, many of which are just solving people's problems. Like this guy, Shovel Knight. Wait, Shovel Knight? I thought I just got done reviewing you. Anyway, he wanted you to get this gem for him at the top of the monument. You get it, you get a pagey, you go your own separate ways, you never see him again unless you talk to him again for some reason. There was 145 of them, and getting them all counts as 100% in the game. Why did it have to be 145 pages? It's such a weird number. It shouldn't have been that much of an issue to put in 5 more for that even 150. I'm just nitpicking you, but it bothered the hell out of me the whole game. I won't be able to collect all the pages in the earlier worlds the first time through, though. Which is where quills come in. Quills are essentially the coins of this game, and they can be used to buy new abilities for Yooka and Laylee. Abilities are bought from this snake in trousers called Trouser. I wear pants too. I guess my name is Pants now. You'll gain some cool abilities too, like rolling a ball to move faster and to roll up slopes, and Bat Sonar. Yeah, Bat Sonar. And turning invisible, like a chameleon. Trouser can make animals forget their natural abilities and sell them back to you for profit. Capitalism. There's 200 quills in each world, and getting all of them gets you a Pagey. There's 1,010 of them in the game, and again, why is this such a weird number? They're all over the place. I mean, you pick up quills as you go, you won't have any issues getting all of your abilities. You can come back to previous areas with later abilities to get new Pages. This makes getting all the collectibles you missed fun, and backtracking doesn't feel repetitive like it could have been. There's 5 Ghost Riders in each world, and getting all 5 in the world gets you guessed it, a Pagey. After finding them, you'll actually have to do something to collect them. Yellow Ghost Riders just need to be found, but the others are a bit trickier. Red ones actually have to be defeated like enemies. Green Ghost Riders have to be chased down. Blues have to be hit with Laylee's sonar. And purples have to be hit with a projectile. It's a cool mechanic and it makes them feel really unique. Next up is an arcade token in each world, and if you bring it to Electro, you can play an arcade minigame where you can earn 2 Pages. One for finishing the arcade game, and one for getting the highest score. And finally, if you find a molecule and take it to Dr. Puzz, she'll transform you into one of her weird-ass forms she's chosen for you this time. Wait, tentacles? Oh god. You weren't expecting visitors? Oh god. Yooka and Laylee don't wear clothes. Oh god. I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. I do not like it. Oh, that's not where this was going? Thank god. I could feel the porn being drawn. After turning Yooka and Laylee into some weird amalgamation of each other, you do something with the transformation to get... This joke is getting old. You know what you get. Talk to Vendy, who's a vending machine. You know what? Hold on. Everything in this place has googly eyes. Need a new character? Just add googly eyes. Anyway, talk to Vendy and you can equip a Playtonic. Good job naming those Playtonic. Playtonics give you buffs like an extra health slot and no fall damage. You need to fill certain requirements to unlock each one, like stunning a few enemies or defeating a few enemies underwater. They're a nice addition, and while most of them are situational, it feels like that was their intention. The Playtonic that gives you more air underwater is made entirely redundant by the air bubble you'll get midway through the game. Thanks, Vendy. Easily the best tonic. Collecting all this stuff wouldn't be fun if the worlds weren't fun to traverse, and luckily, they are for the most part. You start out in Hyrule Towers, being the hub world between everything, and you have to find each world. Each world's entrance is this giant book. Just look at these levels. Sure, it's not graphically intensive, but they all look visually appealing. I mean, seriously, Hyrule Towers has hexagon tiled flooring. You know, because bees. The music in Yooka Laylee sounds great too. My only real complaint with the music is that it's hard to remember. All the music sounds great, but it can't get stuck in my head no matter how much I wanted it to. At first, each world is a bit small, but if you go to the pedestal right outside the entrance and spend more pages, each world can be expanded. The expanded worlds are the real attraction. When expanded, each world is big enough to feel fun to explore, but they're not so big that they feel overwhelming. With how much stuff there is to do in collecting these worlds feel like they're perfect size. They're a bit small by today's standards, but they're way bigger than the N64 could have ever dreamed of. There may only be 5 worlds, but there's enough variety that makes them all interesting. There's some Aztecan jungle, a glacier, and even a galaxy filled with space pirates. The only world I didn't really care for was Moody Maze Marsh. Everywhere in this place looks too similar, and there aren't very many landmarks to help you figure out where you are. All things considered, it's not terrible, but it's easily the weakest world in my opinion. My favorite world has to be Capital Casino, which is ironically the one getting the most hate. Instead of collecting pages, you have to collect tokens, which can be redeemed for pages. They can be redeemed at the front desk run by some B guy. What? That's just capital B? Pfft, yeah, right. Next he'll be telling me the capital B is Sans. Capital Casino really feels like you're running around an actual casino. The music is really good to listen to too, and oh god, those textures. That carpet and marble flooring looks so good. Yooka Laylee really made me want to explore everywhere and collect everything. I'll probably even come back and 100% it later. I even wanted to do it before I knew what the reward was. If you're into collecting things in games, you'll find plenty to keep your interest. Oh man, how have I not talked about this dialogue yet? The game's constantly poking fun at itself and it's wonderful. I don't even want to spoil a lot of this dialogue. I mean, really. Are you even reading this? You may recognize this from the box art. I wish I could introduce myself like that. The characters are really likable too. Yooka is intelligent, calm, and collected, while Laylee is the wisecracking sidekick that has to make fun of everything and everyone. Capital B was even a surprisingly good villain, and I was really wanting to take him down the whole game. He's more comedic more than anything else, and it fits the style of the game incredibly well. Just finishing the game normally, Yooka Laylee will get you about 20 hours of content. For this kind of game, I think that's a pretty nice length. It doesn't feel too short, and it doesn't feel overly long. Going for that elusive 100% will probably take around 25 hours. Speaking of 100%, you'll get some bonus playtonics if you choose to do so. You only need 100 pages to finish the game, but there's 145 in all. Just finishing the game will get you Butter 3. That's surprisingly close to Butter 3. Which reduces your health to 3 and is essentially hold mode. Another tonic called Helium will make everyone's voices higher pitched. Alright, that's not too special. What about the 100% bonus? You get a tonic that gives Yooka a pair of pants. That's it. Did Did Daxter come up with this bonus?
God, I miss pants.
It's a nice nod to Banjo Kazooie, but that's all you get? Not some debug mode or developer room? Well, at least there's a pat in the back for doing something. There's also a 64-bit tonic that, as of this video, is completely unobtainable. People have speculated this will be DLC, and I think that's a pretty fair assumption. I'll probably just make everything look like the aged 64-bit instead of this pretty modern look. Okay, scratch that. That's just appealing to nostalgia that I don't have. I should probably track down an N64 sometime, though. Does all this mean Yooka Laylee is perfect? Oh god, no. Like I said before, the camera can be a bit buggy. It really has a tendency to freak out in weird ways. I don't think it's as bad as other people are saying, but it really does need to be improved. The camera's controls feel fine, it's just that it likes spazzing out every now and then. You can click the left analog stick to go into this over-the-shoulder aiming mode, and it feels really stiff. You can't even move while you use it. It felt almost useless, and I usually forgot I was even there, save for a few areas. Yooka Laylee lets you check your totals with collectibles, which is great, but the menu for this is way too slow. Just watch how long it takes for you to get to the end of the list. That was really boring to watch, wasn't it? Yeah, that's how I feel whenever I want to check my totals for the later worlds. I don't understand why there can't be a list or something to take me to the section I want to look at immediately. This isn't a huge deal, mind you, but it feels so repetitive going through the slow menu in the later worlds. There's a boss in each world and almost all of them suck. The only two bosses I actually liked were Trev and Capital B. Every other fight is either annoying or too gimmicky for it to be fun. You can jump while rolling up a hill. This helps tremendously during the first boss. The first boss is also the embodiment of all the camera issues of this game, and it's the only time I loathe the Yooka Laylee's camera. Breeze Block is just a giant ice wall I have to breathe a bunch of fire onto. This guy takes way too long to kill. I can say that for most of the bosses in this game, but it's most prevalent here. You do the same thing for the whole fight. Sure, he gets smaller and faster and fires more projectiles at you, but it takes me around 4 minutes to defeat him. If these bosses were shorter, they would be much more enjoyable. Oh, and then there's the worst of them all, Inept. This boss. This goddamn boss. Do I know what makes for a great boss? What about a cool test for your abilities? What about a new mechanic that's easy to learn and fun to use? Actually, let's throw that all out the window and make it a minecart minigame. This minecart feels so loose to control. The boost feels imprecise, the jumping feels off, and because of the way the cannonball shot is programmed, it just makes for annoying minigames. The cannonballs go in a straight line in such a way that it can go off the track instead of going along the track, and it makes for such tacked-on shooting. They don't even tell you when your booster shot is recharged either, so if you really need it for whatever reason, you just have to guess that it's there. The recharge time is short, but there still needs to be an indication of when that actually happens. There's a minecart challenge in each world, and each one has you collecting a specific amount of gems before you reach the goal at the end. This may sound like standard minigame stuff, but because of how loose the minecart controls, it's so much more difficult than it actually sounds. Not only that, but they give you very little room for error. You have to be perfect with these challenges. You get hit more than twice, start over. You miss more than a few very precise jumps, start over. You fall off the track, start over. You get enough gems where you get hit by the digitally placed enemies at the end, start over. Now, boys and girls, let's make a boss around this minigame. You have to dodge a bunch of spike balls in a very specific manner that I can never get down. So, how do you damage him? Shoot him with the cannonball, right? Well, yes and no. The cannonball is shot off the track, so we have to wait for him to get super close so that the ball actually hits him. Press it too soon, you'll miss. Press it too late, you'll take damage from the boss. There's very little room for error in this fight, and when you die, you have to start all over again. And this is only the first phase. The other two phases are pretty tame. You'll have so little health after the first phase that it makes the rest of the fight feel impossible. I haven't even mentioned how to actually start the fight either. You have to complete a minecart challenge in Capital Casino. Oh look, a minecart challenge. I bet that'll lead to the boss, said no one ever. A lot of pagey challenges are really annoying too. Like this one where we have to plant a bunch of seeds. It sounds fine, except for the fact that you can't pick them up. If they hit any walls or we run out of time, you have to start over. Once you get a seed planted, you don't have to do that seed again, but why does it have to be so clunky? There's plenty of pages that are fun to collect, but you'll remember the bad ones for all the wrong reasons. Eventually, you get the ability to straight up fly, and it makes a lot of abilities really redundant. Why should I do a high jump when I can just flat out fly now? The Lizard Lash is easily the most redundant ability in the game. It's a really cool idea. You use Yuka's tongue like a hookshot to latch onto certain markers. The issue is that it doesn't always work the way you think it should. There's no indicator over the port you latch onto, so sometimes you'll latch onto the wrong target and there's no way to tell which one you'll land on. Plus, it doesn't even feel like I needed to use it in the area you find it in. Not to mention the flight makes it almost completely useless by the end of the game. Yooka Laylee is a bit buggy too. There's supposed to be an environment you can jump onto, even though it feels like you weren't supposed to. You even get damage in cutscenes sometimes. Look at this, I got damaged mid-cutscene, and I had to fight the final boss all over again. But since I died in the cutscene, I couldn't move my character anymore, so I had to reload my save to try again. When you reload your save, you start up with the newest area in Hyrule Towers, and it feels really annoying to go back to where you were before by the end of the game. In the beginning, it's such a short path that it's not an issue, but the time it takes to get to the final area of Hyrule Towers, the Galleon Galaxy, is around 90 seconds to 2 minutes if you know what you're doing. That doesn't sound like much, but if you were going to Galleon Galaxy every time to load up your save, you have to do that every time. I quit the game in Galleon Galaxy. Why can't the game just stop me in the world I was just in when I load up my save file? But in the end, you really shouldn't let all these glaring issues dismiss you. Despite its flaws, Yooka Laylee is still a great game. Sure, it's got issues, but none of them are deal-breaking. If you're worried about the performance issues on console, I didn't notice any major issues on PS4 after the Day 1 patch. There's some slowdown every now and then, but it never felt like an issue. The performance issues were fixed before release, so we really have nothing to worry about. If you're getting the PS4 version, just look at the gameplay in the video. The console is over 30 FPS, but it's still completely playable. I can't say much about the Xbox One version, but I hear the PC version is decently well optimized, and you can get 60 FPS out of it fairly easily. If your computer can handle it, of course. There's still no release date for the Switch version, but it's not being outsourced to another team, so hopefully it'll run at least on par with the PS4 and Xbox One. If you're itching for a new 3D platform and don't want to wait until Mario Odyssey, you'll have a fun time with this. Yooka Laylee may not be for everyone, but fans of 3D platformers should be able to find plenty to enjoy in it. At the end of the day, Yooka Laylee is a damn good platformer that was well worth the 40 bucks. I don't really understand the hate Yooka Laylee got, and yes, it's flawed, but that doesn't make it a bad game. I don't have much experience with Banjo Kazooie, but after this, I'll definitely have to finish it sometime. Just not anytime soon. I'll be sure to get my platform fixed this holiday with Mario Odyssey and Sonic Forces. Now, if only Hat in Time comes out soon too. This is looking to be a pretty great year for platformers. Here's the Yooka Laylee. Hopefully you did well enough to warrant a sequel that fixes your issues. Not everyone may have liked you, but at least I sure as hell did. This has been that Flame Assassin guy, and tune in next time when I head to the ways of Mario Kart 8. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next mission.